Hey there, this is Women on the Brink. I'm your host, Chris Jeffrey, a registered acupuncturist and wellness advisor with a passion for helping women live happier and more balanced lives. When I'm away from work, I'm usually outside in nature, either walking the seawall or I'm hiking in the mountains. And like many of you, my life has been filled with moments of hardship, some that I thought I couldn't overcome and really left me questioning my own strength. But through these challenges, I discovered resilience, courage, and a renewed sense of purpose. So I'm here to share not just my journey, but the lessons I've learned, and to remind you that no matter what obstacles come your way, there's always a path forward. And just to let you know, this podcast is not prescriptive, it's an offering. So please take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Welcome back to Women on the Brink. So, have you ever wondered why we're here? Why you in this body at this exact time are moving through the life you've been given? I mean, it's probably one of the oldest questions and one that can feel really overwhelming when life throws pain or uncertainty our way. Well, according to psychic medium Lynne Jackson in her book, The Light Between Us, the reason why we're here is simple but really profound. We're here to learn and to give and receive love and to be agents of positive change in the world. So each one of us arrives here with unique gifts and a contribution to make. And when we find and honor our true selves, we begin to navigate life's turning points and what she calls our points of fate with greater clarity and strength. So, at the heart of this teaching is the idea that every one of us carries a light. So, it's a spark of love, it's wisdom and creativity that's uniquely ours. But life can dim that light, right? Fear and doubt and trauma and comparison. I mean, they can all make us forget who we really are. And recognizing our own light isn't always easy. Sometimes it means peeling back the layers of conditioning or shame or fear we picked up along the way. But the light never goes out. It's always there, always waiting for us to notice it again. So when I first read Lynne Jackson's chapter about the bonsai tree, I literally broke down and cried. She describes how the bonsai trees are placed in pots that restrict their growth. So they're clipped and they're shaped and they're twisted into the design that their owner wants. And in one of her readings with a client, she saw a symbol of the bonsai tree, and it represented this person who never understood his own energy and therefore never reached self-actualization. And I mean, the image hit me so deeply because I realized how much of my own life I had spent clipped and twisted and not embracing my passions, like anthropology, and not trusting my own inner knowing, because I battled for years with trying to find a way to love myself. And I was always looking outside of myself for the answers and for validation. And I just kept asking the world, like, am I enough? Am I allowed to grow in this way? Instead of trusting that I already was. And as I was reading about the bonsai tree, I saw the parallel so clearly. We humans are meant to grow like trees. We're supposed to be strong and expansive and rooted in our own truth. And we're not meant to be artificially contorted into someone else's design. So recognizing that truth is such a big part of recognizing our light and our gifts. And this is the most important part I learned. Each choice that we make nudges us into one of two directions. So it's either toward love or toward fear. And when we act from love, love for ourselves, for others, for the bigger picture, we tend to feel aligned and grounded. And even if life is still hard, and when we act from fear, fear of rejection or fear of failure or fear of not being enough, we can veer off of our course. And sometimes we do. I mean, that's just part of being human. But the message is this: we can always find our way back. and we have the innate capacity to honor the pull toward love and step back onto our true path. So the truth is, nothing about our lives has to change in order for us to feel different. What really needs to shift is our perception of our lives. Tiny shifts in how we see ourselves or our circumstances can change everything. And they can ripple out and change relationships and even rattle the universe. I mean, let's take Oprah as an example. As a child, she faced poverty and trauma and countless barriers. But she discovered that once she made a shift in her perception and she stopped seeing herself only as a victim of these circumstances, she began to see that her voice and her story had value. And that shift didn't erase, the pain of the past, but it gave her a sense of possibility. And then that sense of possibility became the foundation for her life's work. And I mean, let's face it, it's impacted millions of people. And that's the power of perception. It doesn't just change us, it changes everything around us. So if you're listening today and you might feel a little lost, or maybe you've made decisions that pulled you away from your deepest self, just let this be a gentle reminder that you're never too far gone. You don't have to earn your way back. You simply have to remember who you are and the love you came here to give and receive. And that remembering can be as simple as choosing, kindness with the people you interact with today, or as daring as maybe forgiving yourself for perhaps choosing the path that didn't feel right, but you were too fearful to turn away from it. Or maybe even being brave enough to speak your truth out loud. So, what the fuck is the meaning of life? I mean, at its core, it's about love. It's learning to give it and learning to receive it, and to use it as fuel for positive change. It's about growing into who we truly are, not the bonsai versions of ourselves that fear or society tries to shape us into. And it's about remembering that even when we wander off course, our light is never lost. So the next time you find yourself asking, why the hell am I here? Remember this: you're here to love, to grow, and to shine your unique light. Even the smallest shift in how you see yourself can ripple outward and change the world. And that, to me, feels like an answer worth living into. So as you move through the week, I really invite you to pause and ask yourself, am I moving from love or from fear? And that question alone can help guide you back to your path and back to your light and back to the reason why you're here. Thanks for joining. And I want you to know that this isn't just a podcast. This is a movement. So share this information with your friends and let's go, ladies.